Hello, I'm just popping on to let you know that in the final interview in this podcast episode, I speak to an inspirational lady who works with people who have suffered abuse, and she helps them get their lives back through creativity. If you think this may upset you or someone you're listening to this with, please avoid this section. It comes between around the 33.5-minute mark through to the 43.5-minute mark. Now, here's the episode. This is Making Stitches, and this time I'm taking you with me to the Great Northern Textile Show 2023 to meet traders, artists and crafts guilds.
Knitting and crochet is for everyone. It's not the stereotype that some people think, that it's the older ladies knitting baby bonnets and cardigans. It's sharing that we are a community. You can see how many people are just sat chatting and talking now. And just to show you what you can make with either one hook and two needles and a ball of wool.
Doing lots of stitched rants for those pieces about my own experience of perimenopause and that of my friends. It's incredibly cathartic, and now I get this wonderful experience of meeting women who have also had a really difficult time and getting to hear their stories, which has just been honestly quite magical.
Julie, we bumped into each other here last year, didn't we?
That's right, this time last year.
Indeed. Can't believe a year's gone by already.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying. And I'm still knitting the same thing I think I was last year as well.
Hello and welcome to Making Stitches. I'm Lindsay. I'm a lifelong crafter, a crochet designer and journalist, and I really love hearing people's stories. This podcast is the perfect opportunity to marry my two passions of creativity and storytelling. This time I'm taking you out on the road with me to my local craft festival, the Great Northern Textile Show, which is held in Urmston in Greater Manchester. It happened almost a fortnight ago and was a riot of colour and creativity on a very grey, damp autumnal Sunday. It's Sunday, the 29th of October 2023. I'm in Urmston on the outskirts of Greater Manchester, and I've just arrived at the venue of the Great Northern Textile Show. This year is the second year of the show, run by Domino, Panton Oakley this time, and I'm just about to go in, so why don't you join me? Let's see who we can see. In the large sports hall venue, there were more than 20 traders in all aspects of creativity, several crafts guilds and crafts groups, and 3 textile artists too exhibiting their work. As I went for a wander around the stalls to see what was on offer, I bumped into the show's organiser, Domino Panton Oakley, who we heard from in the last episode of Making Stitches.
So Domino, we're here.
Yeah.
You've pulled it off. The car park's nearly full.
I know, I can't believe it. It's been so busy already, which has been fantastic. You know, everyone seems really happy. We've got people flooding in, so yeah, really pleased.
There's a really nice atmosphere here, isn't there? Everybody's mixing and mingling and chatting about all the fabulous crafts that are on offer.
Yeah.
You've got such a wide, diverse range of people here, which you must be very pleased about.
I am, yeah, and I hope, that's what we've tried to create with all the different traders. We've tried to make sure we've got a really good mix of different textile themes and mediums and such to make sure that we cater to all people that are interested in different textiles. So yeah, I hope that's what comes across, that they've got a really good mix here.
Wonderful. And is this the start of a long journey for you in the Great Northern Textile Show, do you think?
Oh gosh, who knows? I think I'll need a wine at the end of the day and then I'll reassess and I'll chat to everybody as well and see what they want from us moving forward. But yeah, today so far is going really well, so hopefully we'll be here again next year.
Wonderful. Well, good luck with the rest of the day, Domino. You've done a great job.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
After that quick catch-up, it was time to explore, starting off with a visit to Why Not Macrame, which is where I had a chat with Debbie Davis.
These are kits that we make because we understand that people want to try macrame and don't necessarily know how to go about it. So we've made a good range of beginners kits for people to have a go and make something that's beautiful and hopefully practical as well.
So talk me through a few of the things you've got on your stall, please.
Okay, one of the first things that we started making was the shelf kits. Again, something that is practical. You can use it anywhere, in any room in your house. Very easy to make. You learn 3 or 4 macrame knots while you're making it, and you end up with something that's beautiful and useful.
Fabulous, and you've got lovely little plant pots inside your little hangers and little lanterns and ornaments and everything that's really, really beautiful.
Thank you very much, yeah.
So would you say it's an accessible craft for somebody who hasn't tried it before?
Absolutely. As I said, these are all beginners kits, and as you can see, you can make something quite wonderful when you've learnt just a few knots. It's very accessible. You don't need any tools. You just do it with your fingers. It's knotting. You attach knots and pieces of yarn to things, and you just create something.
Wonderful. Oh, well, that's brilliant. Well, thank you ever so much. I hope you have a really successful day here at the Great Northern Textile Show.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm Janet Markwell, and I have 2 shops. I have the Corner Patch, which is a fabric shop and haberdashery, and then next door to that I have Staffordshire Sewing Machines, which obviously sells sewing machines and dress fabrics and dress patterns.
Fabulous, and you're here at the Great Northern Textile Show today with an amazing array of fabrics and fat quarters and all the things you might want to do some quilting with.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your business.
Well, the business has been going for about 12 years. I've owned it for nearly 5. Basically as a patchwork shop, lots and lots of fabrics, a whole rainbow of fabrics on the shelves in the shop. Plus all the haberdashery, and we do workshops and classes on anything from beginners patchwork to dressmaking.
Fantastic. And what's it like being here at the Great Northern Textile Show here today?
Well, it's the second time we've been. We came last year, first time with the lockdown. We did really well, met lots of lovely people, and lovely day again today. Lovely and busy. Such friendly people up here.
Well, there you go. That's the north.
It is, yes. As you can hear, I'm not a northerner, but certainly it's a friendly part of the country.
Oh, wonderful. Those Christmas quilts on the back and the little stockings you've got hanging up are really beautiful.
Yes, I've been making Christmas samples since about July. So we really have got a Christmas theme going on here because it's time everybody got going on their advent calendars. There's only a month till they're needed. And then we need our stockings and we need our table mats and all the other things to make our homes really Christmassy. So I've really concentrated on bringing Christmas today.
Yeah, I think you've probably hit the nail on the head there.
I'm hoping so.
We all need a kick up the behind at this time of year, don't we?
But it's not just Christmas because I've got lots of half-price fabrics. Some of the ones that have sat on our shelves absolutely flying here today. Really strange how you see them in a different light and suddenly they just capture people's imagination. So we've got some real good half-price bargains. And I can see my husband's just trying to cut a length of fabric. So I need to go and rescue him, if that's okay.
Of course it is. Thank you very much for speaking to me. Bye. Bye.
My name's Nikki and I trade as Allium Threads.
Now, Nikki, you've been on Making Stitches podcast once before when we bumped into each other at Yarndale. It's lovely to see you again.
Yes, you too. Yarndale was a really great show. Really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. So, Great Northern Textile Show today. It's a bit different from Yarndale, but how's it been?
Yes, it is a bit different, but it's been really lovely. Because I sell embroidery threads and tapestry yarn and all sorts of different things as well, I like to come to some of the shows which aren't just purely yarn, and you get a different type of customer and people looking for different things, which is always interesting.
Now, can you talk me through some of the things you've got on your stall today?
Yes, certainly. I've got lots of skeins of yarn, but I've also got quite a lot of kits for people to buy to be able to make things for themselves. So one of the things that's been selling well today are my teapot kits. So here we've got one for a sheep and we've also got one for a Highland cow in a couple of different sizes, and people in this area seem to love their teapots, so it's definitely a good seller today.
Well, there's certainly tea drinkers around here, that's for sure.
Yes, there is. Yeah, there is. And people definitely use teapots more than they do in the south, so that's really lovely because I'm a big teapot fan myself.
Fantastic. Now tell me a little bit about your yarn and how you create it.
All my yarn is dyed with natural dyes. So I buy the yarn in, but then I dye it all myself in my studio using as many plants as I can that I've grown myself. So I have a dye garden and grow what I can, and I've now got an allotment as well, so hopefully next year there'll be even more. So I try and harvest what I can and then dry stuff so that I can use it over the winter as well, so that I can keep dyeing all year long.
It's wonderful. Thanks so much, Nikki, and good
Pleasure.
luck today.
Thank you very much.
I'm Julie of Tilliflop Designs, and my shop is, it's Tilliflop Designs. You'll find me on Etsy.
Absolutely. Julie, we bumped into each other here last year, didn't we?
That's right, this time last year.
Indeed. Can't believe a year's gone by already.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying. And I'm still knitting the same thing I think I was last year as well.
That makes me feel better.
Yes.
I think we're all a bit like that.
Absolutely. Too many projects have been and gone.
Tell me a little bit about your stall for anybody who doesn't know you.
It's stationery really for the crafter. I'm a graphic designer. I couldn't find a greeting card that I like for a knitter a long time ago, so I designed a card, and that's what started me off. So yeah, you'll find greeting cards and lots of greeting cards. There's over 100 I think now, and tea towels, bumper stickers, sock bands, all sorts really. Basically flat things for crafters.
Fabulous. Well, there's certainly a gap in the market for that. That's
Yes,
without a doubt.
yeah, I think so. And I'm always adding to my range, so there's always hopefully something new, and I hopefully get the humour right, because I try to poke fun at us all really, because we're all guilty of the same things, whether we're a knitter or a sewer or a punch needler. We all hoard and craft, and I think we're all guilty of the similar things.
Absolutely, definitely. There's a common thread that binds us all.
There is, and I think the thread's pertinent, isn't it? Yes.
Absolutely. Well, it's lovely to see you here again.
And
I hope you have a great day.
Thank you very much. I hope so. It's been lovely so far. Really busy. So.
Yeah, the car park was nearly full when I arrived.
Oh really?
Yes.
Gosh. Well, I might have to put my knitting down.
Well, I brought all my fabrics with me. I sell Liberty fabrics. I've got William Morris, and then we've got Voisey fabrics. I've got some new premium organic plains, and I've got stuff for children. I've got Christmas fabrics. There's all sorts, and I do try and have fabrics that are reasonable, like £5 a metre for ladies and for guys who do stuff for charity, because there's an awful lot of people I sell to makes things for charity. So I like reasonably priced fabrics for them, and then obviously if you're making stuff with Liberty, that's more expensive, so something for everyone really.
And have you come far today?
I live in Hyde, which is about 20 minutes up the road, which is great, and I have people visiting me there. If people can come up, there's absolutely no problem. I have ladies coming after work, I have them coming on Sunday. I've got a big workshop at the side of my house, and I'm generally in, but I always say to people, please ring me or text me and say you're coming, because I've had people turn up from like Preston before and I've been out. So I just say, I don't do 9 to 5, there's no point. I'll just say, just text me and just make sure I'm in, that's all. So.
And how's it been today?
Yeah, it's been fine. It's been quite busy. Seen lots of ladies who I know, and lots of ladies who bought from me before, and they've come back to me again. So yeah, it's lovely.
That was Lisa Wild from Sunnyside Fabrics there. There were so many lovely things to buy at the show, and I managed to bag a few little things for myself, I have to admit. Also represented at the show was a number of crafts guilds and groups, publicising what they do and encouraging new members to join.
I'm Kathy Unwin.
And you're from the Quilters Guild?
Quilters Guild, yes, exactly.
You've got an absolutely stunning stand here today with beautiful work on it. Can
you
tell me why you're here today?
Because we want to encourage people to think about quilting as something they might want to do, because the Guild is important in terms of promoting quilting and safeguarding the heritage of quilting as well. I mean, we have a substantial collection of quilts which are sitting in our offices at York. So we have a mix of both contemporary quilting, people who are quilting at the moment, and people who are interested in the history of quilting and conserving what we have in the way of quilts from the past. So a nice mix of things to do. And the work we've got here is a range of work relating to both contemporary, modern quilting and more traditional quilting, like the piece at the end and that red and cream. And there's a good variety of work here.
Now, does the Quilters Guild help people on that journey towards becoming an accomplished quilter, or is it an organisation that you'd potentially join if you were already established?
I think you'd join it at any stage of quilting, actually. Certainly it's a sort of very broad church. We like to have people from the whole range of abilities and so on. I mean, sometimes organisations like the Guild are thought of as organisations where you have to be an expert before you join. It is definitely not like that. What you have to be is interested in quilting, and that is all you have to be. In fact, you don't even necessarily have to quilt as such in terms of sewing and so on. You can simply be interested in quilts, both contemporary and historically, and we have amongst our sub-parts, a part of the organisation is called the British Quilt Study Group, and that's a group of people who are fundamentally interested in looking at the history of quilts and studying and working out what has actually been done in quilts which were produced in the past. So it's a very broad range of concerns and activities.
How do you disseminate the information that you find then about the history and the significance of the quilts that have gone before?
Oh, well, the Guild has produced a number of publications, some books about older quilts. The British Quilt Study Group have a conference, not sure whether that's once a year or once every 2 years, and they produce papers from that conference which actually provide details about quilts and effectively is a publication about quilts. So there's quite a lot of that sort of work going on as well.
Fascinating.
And as for quilting generally and contemporary quilting, the Guild produces a regular magazine which is published 3-4 times a year. The regions of the Guild produce little local newsletters which tell people about what activities are going on in quilting and so on. So there's a fair bit of information coming out all the time.
I'm Cheryl Astley and this is...
I'm Joanne Wright.
Lovely. And you're from the North Cheshire Guild of Spinners, Weavers and Dyers, I can see from your badge.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
So what are you doing here today?
Well, we're just demonstrating our spinning and just sort of chatting to people about what we do and if they're interested and if they'd like to come along to our lovely guild and that sort of thing, isn't it really?
Just promoting people, encouraging people to have a go. Get keep this old craft alive with the spinning and the weaving. And it is very ancestral. It does make you think about how our ancestors made the clothing, how long it took them and how valuable it was. Where we're a bit of a throwaway, quick fashion society now, aren't we? So I think when we do our own, don't we, Jo? We always say, don't we? We say, you realise how much work and how much time and how much you do value that piece of garment that you've got. It's very special.
That's lovely. Now, do you have a lot of members in your guild?
We do, don't we? I think we're up to about 60 or so now, aren't we?
Yeah.
So
it's a lovely group.
Yeah.
It's really nice. And I think people just love gathering, don't they? A lot of friendships formed and a lot of skill sharing, which is lovely. Lots of skill sharing and it's really nice. It's got community, isn't it, really? It's keeping that community alive. It's not just about the weaving and the spinning and the textile stuff. I know it's a big part, but it is community.
Yeah, that's very true. I think that's for all crafts, isn't it?
Yeah,
and people are very generous with their knowledge in helping other people.
Yeah, that's it. It is. It's so lovely because all the knowledge, you just feel all the knowledge is being passed down, from generations. And everyone's so willing to share and it is lovely place.
Yeah. And it's sustainable, isn't it? Because we've got everything at the drop of a hat now, haven't we, in the shops and stuff, but it's a good thing to have. These old skills.
It's Helen and I'm from the Yarn Addicts of Manchester.
Hello again, Helen. We spoke this time last year at the first Great Northern Textile Show and you're back again for a second time.
We got invited back, so it was such a success last year that why not come and share the love of crochet and knitting again. So here we are.
Absolutely, and obviously the group's still going strong.
It is. We are in our 8th or 9th year now, so come back after COVID. It was always a bit of a struggle to get people back into Manchester, but we're kind of back to normal numbers now, I think, and just hampered by venue size trying to get everybody in, but we're here and we're as active as ever.
That's wonderful. Now, for anybody who doesn't know who you are, what do you do?
So we are a knitting and crochet group. We are the standard knit and natter kind of group. We're the Manchester branch of the Knitting and Crochet Guild, which is a UK charity to promote the craft. And we have kind of morphed into more of a social group as well. So we might go to a walk in the RHS Bridgewater and have coffee and cake, and we do all the yarn festivals, and as well as our standard meetups. So yeah, bits of everything.
That sounds fantastic. And how many members do you have?
We have 500 on the page. I'd say we have about 150 active core members, but there's always new people coming along. So on Sunday we've got a new members crochet and knitting group, because it's quite hard to turn up to an established group, because in your head you might think that everybody knows each other and who's going to talk to you. So quite often, every couple of months, I do a new members group. So I think there's 10 coming on Sunday. So we shall bring them into the fold, and hopefully they'll then become normal members or standard regular members.
And finally, what are you doing here today? What is the aim of being here today?
I think it's just to share knitting and crochets for everyone. It's not the stereotype that some people think, that it's the older ladies knitting baby bonnets and cardigans. It's sharing that we are a community. You can see how many people are just sat chatting and talking now. And just to show you what you can make with either one hook and 2 needles and a ball of wool. They've all been made from the same starting point, but they're all so different, so beautiful, and you can literally make anything with just a hook and a pair of needles. So just wanting people to come and join us, because it's the best thing we ever did.
You're listening to Making Stitches, a podcast celebrating creative crafts and inspiring makers. This podcast is supported by the Making Stitches shop on Etsy, where you can find Making Stitches podcast tote bags, badges and stitch markers, along with a few of my crochet patterns for sale too. Just search for Making Stitches shop on Etsy. Now back to more creative chat. 3 textile artists were invited to exhibit their very different types of art for visitors to see. From traditional Japanese embroidery to a fabric recreation of Jupiter's bottom, the planet that is, and textile art documenting the effects of menopause, courtesy of the Stockport-based artist Wendy Roby.
My practice is slightly born out of grief in a way, which sounds sort of a bit down, but I found after the death of my father that I really needed to keep busy, in particular keeping my hands busy. And I found stitching and embroidery an incredibly therapeutic tool during that time. And then I joined Manchester So Social, which is an amazing monthly meetup for makers of all kinds of sort of textile interests. And it was there that I met people who encouraged me to call my work art, which I'd never done before. And so I feel like those 2 things have turned me into or have driven me down the path that I am now, where I'm doing textiles and printmaking full time. And that's been for probably 2, nearly 3 years now that I've been kind of properly taking it seriously. And I'm exhibiting today some works about the menopause from an exhibition that I did earlier this year, and also some more decorative pieces that are mostly inspired by kind of modernism and 1960s textiles.
It's fantastic. I've just been looking at it's like a story about a woman having a moment, and it's just so true.
Well, I'm glad people find themselves in it, although, that I think perimenopause can be an incredibly difficult time for a lot of women. I was really lucky. I had a commission from GMCA and Stockport Council to mount an exhibition about menopause, and it was the first time I'd made explicitly personal work. And I came to textiles. I've always made things, always made clothes, but in terms of kind of textile art, my job before that was actually as a writer, and this was one of the first times that I combined writing with textiles and doing lots of stitched rants for those pieces about my own experience of perimenopause and that of my friends. It was incredibly cathartic, and now I get this wonderful experience of meeting women who have also had a really difficult time, and getting to hear their stories, which has just been honestly quite magical.
Oh, that's wonderful. And what kind of a reaction have you had today so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. I'm still slightly dazed because I spent all day yesterday trying to, like it is with a fair or a market, you spend a lot of time in the run up to that getting your stand ready. And then as soon as I kind of put the last nail in the exhibition board to mount the work, people were here. And so it's been lovely because straight away people start talking to you about their own experience or their own making practice, with the more decorative work. And that's all. I could talk about printmaking all day, so it's been wonderful so far today.
My name's Jane Smith.
And you're one of the artists exhibiting here at the
That's
Great
correct.
Northern Textile Show today.
Yes.
Can you tell me, for my listeners, a little bit about your work, please?
So this is all traditional Japanese embroidery. So it's traditional designs worked with techniques on the silk that would originally have been used to decorate kimono or hangings for shrines or temples. These days, of course, we turn them into pictures. But that's where it comes from, and the techniques have been developed over approximately 1600 years of history of this type of embroidery, yes.
Now, there's a lot of floral involved in your work.
There is.
Where do you get your inspiration from?
It's various places. It's either traditional prints or old kimono, or I might see a picture in a book that I like and I think I can adapt that. Occasionally they come completely out of my head, so it does vary. So the two of these ones are the shell box and the maples, which I know you can't see while I'm speaking about them, but they were a combination of an old antique design sheet for an obi and combined with the fabric, because I'd got a fabric that had already got some maple leaves dyed into it, and I thought it was such a good match that I kind of did a bit of jiggery pokery and put a couple of designs together.
Fabulous. And how's your experience been today at the Great Northern Textile Show?
It's been really good. People have been very complimentary. It's always a boost to the ego when people say, "Isn't it lovely? Aren't you clever?" But it's nice to, I was just saying to a lady, it's nice to actually see these things in a different light, because of course when they're at home you just stop seeing them because they're there day after day after week after week. So it's nice to actually get them off the wall and look at them in a different context. And people, are really liking the work, and they're liking the other things I brought. So it's been very positive so far.
I'm Sheila Haldane. I'm from Sale.
Oh, right. So just down
Very,
the road
very
then.
local, yeah.
Fabulous. And you're here as one of the exhibiting artists.
Yes. And the first time I've done anything like this, I've had a few, like one piece at a time here and there in exhibitions, just locally. But this is the first time I've had sort of my entire collection all in one place. I'm absolutely delighted.
Oh, wonderful. And what's the reaction been so far?
There's been a lot of people here, and it's quiet now, but we've had a lot of people coming round. I don't know what the footfall's been like in general, but it's been lovely. There's been people coming to have a chat, talk about their own stitching or creating projects. And it's just been lovely. It's been absolutely fun to talk to people. They've been showing me photographs of the stuff, and it has been two-way, because I'm learning about new techniques from them. I've got a lady that's over there just now waiting to show me a photo of something that she's done using a printer and printing like a photograph onto fabric, which I'm so excited about. So it's been absolutely lovely. I'm buzzing.
Fantastic. Now, can you explain your craft, because obviously my listeners can't see what's in front of them?
Well, it's textile art. Mostly it's about using up the leftover fabrics from my sewing projects. I try to generally not buy anything new, because I do buy new for the drawstring bags that I make. So I don't want to be throwing anything away. So mostly it's fabric scraps and hand embroidery. And when I say embroidery, I'm not an embroiderist. It's more hand stitching in order to make the shapes and colours flow, maybe give definition, maybe accentuate an aspect, or simply to create maybe a landscape. I prefer it to be quite abstract, and there's a suggestion of a mountain or a suggestion of a lake, but I have been moving on to doing more specific things. I'm standing with Jupiter behind me, and Jupiter was it's an image taken by the James Webb telescope last year, and it was sort of the clearest images yet of Jupiter, but this is from an unusual angle. It's like Jupiter's bottom, and shows the kind of clouds and storms with the red spot right up in the top corner. And what I had to do for that, going by the image, was actually use twists and scrunched up sort of strips of fabric rather than it being flat as my work usually is. So it presented a few problems in terms of tacking it all into place. That took months before then actually stitching and adding some embroidery to pull out some of the stormy bits. So that was a year in the making, I'd say.
Wow.
But challenge accepted, and I think I've done all right with it.
Absolutely, it's beautiful. The colours are stunning. It's
Thank
very
you.
kind of Monet-esque, I think.
Yes.
The colour spectrum
Yes.
that you've used there.
Yeah. Well, of course, that was entirely dictated by the photo that I was working to, and I did find it a little restrictive because mostly what I do is just whatever my head decides on the day. Bit kind of like doodling, except instead of picking up a pencil, I thread a needle and then just get started.
Wonderful. And how long have you been doing this?
2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I retired and suddenly had plenty of time to be creative. And I started making my drawstring bags and selling at market, and it was something from somewhere, a combination. I've got all of these leftovers and the need to create, to do something that was a bit more than just dictated by a pattern, something more freeing, and I'm obsessed by it now. It's just something I've always, before I've finished one piece, I'm already planning the next one. And it just sort of all keeps tumbling out.
Oh my word. Well, I would never have thought to see your work that it was just a 2-year-long obsession.
Absolutely.
That's remarkable.
We've got a piece as well, which is a collaboration with my husband, who's only just this year taken up painting. And that I'm hoping we'll do more of as he maybe retires soon. And he's done a painting of a photograph I've taken of Ullswater, and when he's come to I don't know how I'm going to paint that mossy barn roof, and I've sort of said, I think I could help you there. So I've done the embroidery that's made it look like a mossy barn roof on his painting.
Wow.
And it's lovely, I have to say. We're quite proud of it.
Yeah, I have seen it around the back. Yes, it is beautiful.
Thank you.
That's remarkable. So you are a dream team then?
I'd like to think that we could take this somewhere, yeah.
How exciting.
Be nice.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing your work. It's
an absolute pleasure. Thanks for asking.
So after a wonderful time at the Great Northern Textile Show, I was about to leave when I noticed a stall I hadn't visited yet. Instead of selling craft supplies, it was selling ready-made handcrafted things. And when I asked who they were made by, I was blown away by the stories of the women and children involved.
My name is Taslima.
And your organisation?
CDM UK Manchester.
Can you tell me a little bit about what you do?
Well, we work with women and children from diverse and intergeneration. And what we do is, and some of the women have been, from disadvantaged backgrounds, so they've been sexually abused, child abused, all kinds of things. And then we get school children, and then we help them to, little by little is our motto, to make a change. So we help them with their GCSE, A-levels, and help them to get into a university. So we don't only pick a university, we pick a university like London College of Fashion and St Martin's and, great universities, because we believe that if we don't give them a helping hand, they wouldn't get the chance. And some of our students gone to London College of Fashion and St Martin's, which is remarkable. And then with the women, they like being sexually abused or child abused or mental health, being raped. But the thing is, these are women that are really special because they have not, something terrible has happened to them. They came to us, and little by little we make a change. For them to even get up, brush their hair, or have a cup of tea, make a cup of tea is so difficult. But to be able to achieve that is so remarkable. And one of our students said to us that if it wasn't for CDM, she would be 10 feet under. And she said to me, Taslima, you helped me to stay alive. You gave my life back. I said, absolutely, I did not. You did. Together we worked to where you are today. And she makes crocheted blankets all in 1 week. And she's absolutely amazing because we're making, because of cost of living, we make pure wool shawls and wraps and knee pads, and she crochets them, and then we find women over 70 and we give them away. So she is absolutely amazing. There are hundreds of ladies that we've worked with like this, and over 70 we have ladies that we work, and the ladies make, and so we call ourselves the ladies that make, and we work together to make a change. I love what I do.
I can tell. Creativity is such a healer, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But because I'm an art therapist, I'm not like the community groups or, big organisation, because I only work with small numbers, and that small number grow. Like now we have 400 over 70 ladies that we work with. We've got a large number of children and women, but I believe that only a little number can make a difference, and on long term as well. You can't work with somebody for a few weeks or a month or 2 or 6 months or 3 months. It has to be a long term. Some of the women that we work with have been with us for 7-8 years, and you started to see the change, started to see autistic people talking with each other, becoming friends. There are so many things in the mill that it's just incredible, because without and we're not about ourselves. I'm not about me. I'm about the women and children, and I represent them because and they represent me. So it's we work together to make a change.
You've got some beautiful things on your stand today. Do you want to talk me through some of the things you've got?
Yeah, because these are what the women have children have made. So this bear is like a design that my son did when he was 4. And then I told him the bear doesn't look like this. And he said, Mummy, the bear is perfect like me. So what the word that he used, I drew it and implemented it. And now the women, and when they made these bears, they really feel like they've achieved something amazing, because it's a little thing, but the impact is huge because they made it and it belongs to them. So that's how we started. And then they made the hats. One woman, she knits all these hats, so I've taught her, and now she's making these. And so many people came up to me today and said, are they done on the machines? I said, no, they're hand knitted, so you can see the craftsmanship in them. And then these are the bears, then these are the scrunchies. We've got some Christmas masks, a Christmas little, what's that called? Got stockings to go. And these are tie and dye that the women have made and the children. And these are our wonky bears that the children made. So This one went back, but the leg is, I've got to fix the leg. And so these are all from recycled fabric, and these are wool. We only use natural fabric, so we don't have waste going in or waste coming out. And everybody has to take their waste. They're not allowed to leave it in the mill because, you know, we think about the environment, the impact, and in the mill, everything is natural. There is no rubbish going in or out, and everything that we use is natural, as much as possible, as British as possible, that we do. And we, you know, people talk about climate change and all of that, but they don't really understand it because it's about waste. Where's your waste going to go? Why have you got a bin? Like here, they've got the bin. We wouldn't have a bin because we would use cups that we wash. So even if the cups are sustainable and green and they degrade, but we should think about not using a bin because you're still impacting on the environment, but we don't have a bin. You can ask my students, they will tell you. And then I teach them about healthy eating, healthy living. So we've just been nominated for our culture award on health and well-being because of the things that we do. And we all eat organic food and organic tea. It's no junk. And people have changed, you know, their weight. They've lost weight and everything because people think it's expensive to make your food, but actually it's not, because your shopping bill can be £30 if you buy beans and chickpeas and then we do all of that. So it's not just the textile, it's about a whole circle of life that we do.
That's remarkable. Where can people find you online?
We've got our Facebook, which is CDM UK Manchester, and then you can find us on there. And you can see that, you know, we've done things that we would like for ourselves. Like I've got a learning disability, so I'm dyslexic and autistic. So I find every day my life is hard, that how to speak, how the word's going to come out. And I know thousands of people are like me and how they have been impacted, like you're not clever, you're dumb, you're this, you're that. And these are the words people use. You're not academic. But, you know, it made me more resilient and more strong. And I did my BA, did my Masters, and I'm doing another Masters. So I have made huge impact for myself. So if I did it for myself, thousands of women and children can do it as well. But we just need that helping hand. So through CDM UK Manchester, they can find me. And if you just Google CDM, you'll find loads of things that we have achieved. And we're new on the block. We're about 10 years old, a little bit more, from 2012. So we're not like the other, but we have made a huge impact in the way that we work. Because we believe that if we teach someone, and someone can go and teach someone else. And that's how we've grown and grown and grown.
What an inspiring person Taslima is. I'm so glad I stopped to speak to her. If you'd like to learn more about the work being done by CDM UK Manchester, you can find all their links in the show notes for this episode, along with links to everyone else I spoke to at the show. Well, I do hope you enjoyed my visit to the Great Northern Textile Show 2023. It certainly was great. My thanks to everyone who spoke to me for this episode. It was a lot of fun to make. Now, since my last episode, I've been down to London for the Independent Podcast Awards. Making Stitches was shortlisted in the Arts and Culture category. It was a real honour to be shortlisted alongside some really fabulous podcasts. I didn't win. The award went to a very worthy winner though, called Folk on Foot. So if you like folk music and walking and a bit of local history and geography, you might want to give it a listen. That really is all for this time. Thank you so much for listening right to the very end. It's been a long episode this time, so I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back again in 2 weeks' time with another inspiring story for you, and it's going to be Christmas related. I think it's safe to say that now we're into November. Until then, do look after yourself and enjoy your crafting.